Profit of Feminizing Men. Are you a simp? Do you tell women what they want to hear? Have you spent time on YouTube listening to dating coaches and supposed relationship gurus tell you what pickup lines to use and how to cold approach women? Do you think if you hit the gym and became buff or make a lot of money that women will magically want to come jump on your dingus? Then you are probably a simp. Own it. But understand it, blue pill boy. Over the past 80 years, men, particularly in America, have slowly been feminized. After World War II, more and more men moved out of farming communities and into larger cities. You see, when America was mostly agricultural, country boys were raised on farms by their fathers, along with their uncles, cousins, etc., learning how to behave manly, which was to be honorable, truthful, and respectful, and to protect your women. But once families moved into cities where the fathers left their homes and went to a factory, office, or did some service-type job, boys were left at home to be raised by their moms. While mothers mean well, they have no idea how to teach a boy how to be a man. Then, at the age of 6, most boys are sent to a public school that is taught by 90% females. And for the next 12 years, the idea that boys need to please women in order to get along is reinforced. This has created a type of man called a nice guy. Nice guys, ironically, aren't very nice. They're master manipulators and have learned how to tell women what they want to hear, which is rarely the truth. Women don't really like to face the truth these days because we've had several generations of nice guy simps pave the road of delusion, entitlement, and crapola to a bunch of receptive emotional females. These females want to think of their lazy, spoiled fat behinds as being queens. Yeah, right. Today's women are repelled by a man who does the honorable thing that would help her mental health as well as her survival rate, which is to tell her the truth. Women are not used to the truth, and it's men's fault for not looking out for the females that they're supposed to be protecting. Hey, simp, do you want to know why there's so few women out there worthy of marriage nowadays? Because men like you have allowed women to think that their sexual history, party girl behavior, and bad attitude won't have an effect on their desirability later. You lied like a rug, told them what they wanted to hear, and then got your nut and ran away. As a simp, you never had an honorable thought of the fact that you're lying to someone's daughter, or sister, or mother. But that's okay. If you ever have a daughter yourself, you can rest assured that some new young simp will return the favor for you, and you can pat yourself on the back for carrying on this sick tradition. So, why are men feminized? For profit, of course. It's the same reason our capitalistic society doesn't want people to stay married or to be happy and content. Listen, happy, content people do not spend the same amount of money that angry and afraid people do. And men do not spend the same amount of money on themselves as women do. People who are dating spend more money than a married couple with a mortgage and a child. That's just the way it is. Think of it like this. Married couples these days aren't having the same number of children that families used to have, and we need economic growth. So what do? Well, first America put their women in the workforce, so the household had more money to stimulate the economy. But that only worked for another 30 or 40 years. Then we found out that the real growth is in bad relationships, hookup culture, and divorce. You see, when a family works hard to stay together, they occupy one house, share appliances, share transportation, share groceries, share utility bills, etc. But after a divorce, they need 2 residences, double the amount of appliances, double the amount of furniture, pay double the amount of utility bills. You get the picture. Not to mention the lawyers that get paid, counselors get paid, therapists get paid, pharmacies make money. And it gives our news media something to report on. But do you see anyone doing anything to try to fix this behavior? Of course not. It's profitable. So, men have allowed women to behave in ways that lowers their sexual market value, thereby making most of the American female population a bunch of 304s that no man really wants to marry, exploits their sexuality to the extreme, and reaps the benefit through increasing profits. Well, isn't that special? All we had to do was decrease the chance of our bloodlines to live on by living for instant gratification that our next orgasm will give us, by telling a gullible population of overly accessorized women whatever they want to hear, and buying them a few trinkets and dinners. Gee, you simps sure are smart. It has even got to the point of feminization of men that we now have a category of adult entertainment called transgender. It seems that there are a significant number more male to female transgender than there are female to male. You ever wonder why? Well, I won't jump down that rabbit hole in this video, maybe later. But as long as we are talking about why profit drives feminization of men, think of this. Transitioning from male to female will see the trans person buying a whole new wardrobe of feminine things. Lots of makeup, shoes, bags, as well as hormone therapy, breast augmentation, sex reassignment surgeries, pharmaceuticals that are associated, as well as the fact that 2 out of 3, roughly, are in therapy for varying degrees of depressive disorders. So the money-making potential is definitely there. All we need to do is normalize it to a point where we can really profit from it. Can you say, cha-ching? Come on, simps, and climb aboard something you indirectly started. Listen, I know my take on this subject may sound quite abrasive to those snowflakes who hide from people who tend to tell the truth like I do, and I'm willing to be abrasive to make a point. Those big business executives who are masters at marketing have known for quite a while that where women go, men will follow. They also know that most major purchases made by men are directly or indirectly linked to impressing a woman, attracting a woman, or keeping a woman. Women, by nature, are more emotional, subject to the fear of missing out, commonly referred to as FOMO by advertising, and have a hard time making a decision, which is why dating apps cater to them instead of men. Spoiler alert, dating apps want you to stay on the app, not find true love, which is why women are the target for the owners of the apps. It's all about more money for the economy and how we get into the pocket of the consumer. Listen up, simps. Mass media is constantly and consistently trying to keep us angry and afraid, separated and segregated to help their benefactors who buys advertising that run the programming. It's the old divide and conquer routine. A bigger overview of it is that even our government, ran by politicians who get elected by being funded by the same companies who buy the advertising that run mass media companies, want us divided and conquered too. Why? Because every revolution that has ever taken place started with a group of men who stood together and made their grievance known and fought for their beliefs. When you feminize all your men, you dramatically decrease the chance of a revolution ever happening. So, welcome to Simpland, where simps never say what they really mean, women aspire to be OnlyFans 304s, and real men who like to do something about it are demonized like Andrew, you know who, for having the nerve to say what we're all really thinking. Be well and survive.